Hello and welcome back to JBCTR, where today we're filming what I think is quite possibly my most requested video. Today we're installing a short shifter by Car Enhancements UK. Right then, so before I get into what we are fitting today, I'm actually going to start with just cracking on. So we need to sort of get underneath where the induction kit is in order to fit this. So first things first is to remove the CEUK filter for the induction kit and the first part of this hose. So it should be fairly easy. I think you've got one plug and a couple of bits to unscrew, but yeah, we'll just dive straight in. So now we've got access to where we need to get to. It's pretty simple to fit the short shifter, if I'm honest, but from showing you how to do it, it's actually really difficult to get the camera in it. So thankfully, SEC Performance have given me a duplicate of what we need to fit to, which is here, as if by magic. So what we'll do is we'll take this round the back into the garden and have a chat about what it is we're fitting today and how you fit it to this thing. Right then, so as it is really hot today, I think about 30 degrees, I thought I would do this in the garden, where you join me with Susie, our sunflower. She's rather tall and we're quite proud of her. So yeah, this is Susie. Anyway, come on Johnny, short shifters, not sunflowers. Today, as I mentioned in my intro, we are fitting a CEUK short shifter, and this is it. It is made from aluminium, milled into two separate pieces, and then the two pieces are bolted together, and then I will show you why when we get around to fitting it in just a second. In terms of other options that are available on the market, you'll notice that there are a lot that are of this design, and that's because they all kind of need to fit in the same place and do the same thing. So just for comparison, I've got an AirTech short shifter here. Sorry about the learner motorbike going past, and there's 125 with a big exhaust. Anyway, here is an AirTech one. There are some very subtle design differences, and I would actually say that CEUK have potentially used a bit more metal, perhaps. Now, the only anomaly in the short shifter market would be mount tune. Now, of course, this is a stock piece which comes on all Fiesta STs from factory. The mount tune one will replace this entire thing. It's got some slightly extra enlarged bits on the end, so presumably it makes it a little bit more weighty, but ultimately that also just moves this little nub in, and I'll show you how that works in a second. So yeah, those are the options that are available, but today we're fitting this one, and I'm going to show you how to fit it off the car, just because it's easier to show you, really. So let's get into it. When it comes to fitting, it's worth knowing how it works, because ultimately that will help you understand what this is. So essentially this thing will twist, and then this shaft in the middle will change the gears in the gearbox in the most simple terms. A rod comes from the cabin connected to your gear stick, and that literally just pushes onto this little nub in here, and then as you move your gear stick, this moves and rotates, and then you select the correct gear. And that's essentially how it works. Now, in order to make it shorter, we need to move this nub in slightly closer to the cabin, and that is what this does. So in order to fit this, you essentially got your 3 bolts here. So you firstly undo those, and then wrap it around this, and then clamp them back up again. And then this nubbin becomes your new nubbin, which is then closer to the cabin. So that's how you fit one of these.
Time goes by and yet I wonder, are you and me still the same? Are you still loving the game? I know I don't. You cast your spell and I went under. I know the laughter and the pain. Will I ever love again?
So there you go, that is it fitted. Really simple. I mean, you don't get much more simple than that in terms of modifications. But as I said, the only issue is doing this on the car. There's a few access issues, so it's much easier to show it to you outside the car like this. It's certainly not going anywhere. These 3 bolts hold it very securely, and on the back here it fills in this void quite nicely, so it's a very solid piece of kit. So now all that's left for me to do is to transfer it off this one and put it into the car so I can actually experience it. Now, the only difference in the car to what we did in the back garden is I've got to unhook the nubbin before and then put the nubbin back on. That's pretty much it. Now, not gonna lie, trying to get the little nubbin thing off, which is literally just a compression fit, was not easy. So I've got a little tip. Grab one of these trim removal tools and use a little right angled bit and then simply pry it off. Simple as that. The one final thing to choose before you finally put it all back together is how short you want your short shifter. So the CEUK shifter that I'm installing today will offer you 15% or a 25% throw reduction, and you choose that by moving where the pin is on the short shifter. So by default mine was shipped on the 15% level. I'm going to move it across onto the 25% level because if you want a short shift you want it really short, in my opinion. So that's done simply by unscrewing it, moving it across and then nipping it up with a 10mm spanner. Now, before we put all the induction kit or airbox back on, depending on your state of modification, good idea to test it, and it will give you your first indication of what a short shifter feels like. And I must admit, it feels in the hand so much nicer. Just feels a bit more better put together actually. That's quite cool. But in terms of conveying this to you over video, by the power of video, I feel I can overlay an original shift with a new and improved short shift, and then hopefully that will show you guys what this looks like. And I think you get the gist. So that is what a short shifter does. And now let's put the car back together again. And there we have it. That's how you fit a CEUK short shifter to a MK8 Fiesta ST. Initial impressions are really good. The mod itself is pretty inexpensive, and as you saw, really easy to fit. Not so easy to film, but really easy to fit. So all in all, I think I can recommend it actually. One thing I would say is if you are doing an induction kit install of any kind really, I would highly recommend doing this because you have to remove the induction kit anyway. So there you go, and that's also a hint about what's coming up next on JBCTR. So I'll leave you with that one, and if you want to see more of me, the Fiesta and other car content, then hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.
There goes a sight from my soul.